Hi, everyone. My name is Abigail Sapir from Zichron Yaakov, and I am so excited to be here with you today on week 7. I can't believe it. It's already 7 weeks in, and we are going to be talking today about our colon health. And just in case you forgot or you haven't been here with us yet, we're talking about foundational healing, and foundational healing being the way that we're addressing the natural healing function in our body with natural materials, essential oils, clean eating, whole food supplements, and much, much more. And we don't believe that anything can heal us except ourselves. So there should be no misunderstanding about any of the presentations. We are not claiming that any supplement or natural source will cure us or heal us. We believe that only the body is built to heal itself. Let's try and get my picture out of the way here. There we go. And one of the most amazing things is that when the body is in a balanced state, a state of homeostasis, if we're injured or we become sick, the body can quickly and efficiently deal with the problem and quickly restore itself to health. And these are some of the symptoms that our body needs healing. We've got about 30 to 40 trillion cells in the human body, and every second that we're alive, these cells are tirelessly working to achieve equilibrium, to help us out, bring us back into this natural state. So just a quick review, these are some of the places that toxins get into our body, and toxins come from many things, from natural sources, from stress, we get toxin deposits, from too much food, from processed food, from chemicals, anything not natural will leave toxins in the body. And we're talking about where they come into the body, where they get stored, and how they exit. And so we're going through each of these body parts that get so affected by the toxins that hold them in the body, and these guys over here that help them come out of the body, so that we can learn how to better support this incredible self-sustaining machine that we have. So again, we're kind of starting at the top. We started with lungs and respiratory system, and we are down here at the colon. And then we're going to start next week with long-term storage, where they get stored in the body and how we can detox them. So each place that the toxins come into the body is an organ that we can also detox, because it gets clogged up like a drain or a sponge might with gunk. Each organ that helps to release the toxins, to flush the toxins out of the body, also can get clogged up very easily. And so we're learning how to detoxify every section. And then we're going to talk about, the body fat, joints, bone marrow, central nervous system, and lymph system, because we've already talked about the other parts and how we detoxify them. We're going to talk about the long-term storage systems and how we can help to get rid of them. Not the storage systems, the toxins that are in them. These are the feelings and what is the word? This is what we want to be experiencing. These are the symptoms, there we go, that we want to be experiencing in our body. And this is what we want to hang on the wall and check in with ourselves every day. Are we feeling every single one of these? And if not, we know that somehow, somewhere, we need to detox. So let's just dive right into our colon. And the interesting facts about digestive health, which is, the start of where does everything in the colon come from? It comes from the stomach, from digestion, and from the colon from the liver. gets sent into the colon to get flushed out as waste. All waste products go into the colon. And it's interesting that almost twice as many women will suffer from digestive health issues on a weekly basis compared to men. And one of those reasons being, we will see in a later slide, the connection between gut health and emotional health. And we're going to have a whole week dedicated to emotional health. And I'm very excited about that. We always end with that. And our emotional brain is very fun. So, you know, women living more in the emotional part of our brain, which we don't have to, but it's a natural tendency that we can work on, and we can grow, and we can learn to use the emotions to help guide us, you know, where we're doing too much, where we're going the wrong way, maybe which person is not a good friend for us because they stress us out, or an activity that brings too much stress into our lives. The feelings, the emotions that we get from these things are our early warning system. And, you know, I know a lot of guys, and not as many anymore, but especially when I was a bit younger, so many men wanted to avoid emotions. And so they compartmentalize and they use the reasoning brain, and they don't want to talk about emotions or delve into their emotions. So they don't suffer often from as much digestive health as women do. But times are changing. And I'm curious to see if this will still be the same statistic in a few years from now. Another statistic is 62% of people worldwide suffer from digestive issues, complaints such as constipation, indigestion, and diarrhea at least once a year. And this is reported. How many people don't want to report their digestive issues? How many times have you have digestive issues and gone and reported it to your doctor? Probably not nearly as many times as you have suffered silently at home or complained to your friends about. 95% of serotonin, which is a major mood influencing and boosting hormone, is produced in our small intestine. Now, if our small intestine is all blocked up and full of gunk and toxins and putrefying waste, yay, how can a really positive, uplifting hormone get to us? Like, it doesn't even physically make sense. Like, if I think of, you know, some little, I don't know, flower in the middle of a pile of poop, well, I'm probably not going to smell the flower, right? So that's kind of the same thing. So we really want to keep our intestines very clear. And this is one place that enemas and colonics come in, so that we can experience more of these uplifting, mood boosting hormones. And 70% of our immune system is located in our gut. So again, when we have a colon, our gut system that is blocked up and unhappy and full of waste and unhealthy material, we are going to have a weaker immune system. So is your unhealthy colon making you sick? Here are some examples of a healthy colon versus an unhealthy colon. Now, again, we're not, you know, when we're reducing excess weight through health measures, we're not talking, excuse me, I don't know what's happening. My computer's having a hiccup. We're not talking about dieting. We're really talking about the organs in the body being able to work in their ideal function and not having toxic buildup in the body. And that right there balances our weight. We don't have to worry about being underweight or overweight. We don't have to worry about diets or you know, increasing the calories to help a person gain weight from being too skinny. We need to think about body function and if everything is working as it is born to do. So, you know, looking at this unhealthy colon, it's, I mean, how does anything even work here? Our body is incredible. That fight and drive for life is relentless. you've got a colon here that is bloated in parts. It's squished to a tiny little tube in other parts. It's almost in pieces in some places. I mean, I can't even imagine how it works like that, and yet that person is still alive. Thankfully, I cannot see my colon. I don't think I would like to know what it looks like when it's not doing well, but I do want to pay attention to the symptoms. And a lot of these symptoms are going to be the same as what we saw at the beginning, the symptoms that we don't want to be feeling. So instead of looking at what are the symptoms of an unhealthy colon, because really a lot of these symptoms cross over into so many different areas, let's look at the symptoms of what a healthy colon feels like and looks like. And you can understand from what it should look like, the opposite would be true if we're not healthy. So when we're having good moods and clearer skin, we have an enhanced resilience to stress. We have hormone balance. We aren't experiencing seasonal allergies. We have a strong immune system. We have good energy, less anxiety and depression, and improved cognitive function, reduced inflammation and pain. All of these are symptoms of a healthy working gut. And yes, there are symptoms of healthy working other organs as well, but these are directly linked to the gut and colon health themselves. So, and one of the things that we need in order to experience these things is excellent elimination. When we don't have enough fiber, when we have dehydration, when we have heavy stress, these things affect our gut. And some things that we can help to eliminate that is to have regular bowel movements. We should be having a bowel movement every single time we eat a meal. Half an hour later, we should have a bowel movement. If we're not, and the doctors will say, are you having at least one bowel movement a day? Okay, that's the minimum to live. That's like the base minimum just to stay alive. That's not optimal health. Optimal health is having a bowel movement every time we eat solid food, especially because in our solid food, there's going to be an amount of waste. And if the body is working all perfectly and ideally and in optimal health, it will absorb what it needs to absorb. And while it's doing that, it'll separate out the waste and flush it, and it should just come right out. So that is one of the biggest things, the biggest signs that we know when our gut is in optimal health. Lots of fresh fruits and vegetables and healthy grains, seeds. We need that fiber. And if your body cannot handle raw foods and vegetables and greens, then you have a digestion issue, and you're going to have to start slowly. Don't force it. Don't make yourself sick with raw food and then believe the lie that raw food isn't good for us. Raw food is ideal for us. It's our bodies not in an ideal, optimal health situation that cannot handle the raw food. And at that point, talk to your health professional, talk to your team, talk to us. We'll be happy to help you. But a real good tip is to start with steamed greens. Avoid raw greens and stick with steamed greens, and eat a lot of seeds, not too many nuts, and drinking a lot of water and alkaline water, as we've talked about in previous classes. And if you have a question about it, look it up on the internet or ask us. So bowel movements are not just extremely important for the body health, but also for the emotional process as well. According to many different medical sources, including Ayurveda, feelings and emotions play a very important role in bowel movements. When we're stressed, even if our colon is in good health, if we're stressed out, it's not going to be able to work properly. Also because of the hormones produced there, also because stress causes contractions in the body and keeps us from working properly and easily. Our body should be at ease, not in dis-ease. I like that. Okay, so next one. And this is a really quick, easy class today. It doesn't take very long to understand how this works and affects us in very deep ways. Our gut and our brain, it's one with the other. It's not one affects the other, it's both affect each other in two different ways. And so this is why the gut is called the second brain. Now, the interesting thing is most of our hormones and good feeling chemicals, most of the chemicals are produced in the gut, not the brain. So in fact, although we have a reasoning mind in our brain, our gut is actually a stronger brain influence in our being than our brain is. Gut feeling, gut health, butterflies, cramping from anxiety. What are some other ways that we talk about our gut? You know, go with your gut. Go with what's your gut feeling? What's your intuition? It starts in our gut here. So as we start to understand how the brain affects the gut and the gut affects the brain, we can join that process and put in positive influencers so that we're not stressing ourselves out. Some of the helpful things, a short walk after meals help to keep the colon clean. Regular yoga helps to reduce anxiety and stress and increase the health of all of the organs in the body. A full body yoga workout, which includes rest, relaxation, and meditation, as well as physical exercise and resistance stretching. Every single position in yoga is scientifically connected to different organs and systems in the body. Some of them positions actually massage organs to help them work better and to reduce stress. Meditation is an excellent way to reduce stress and aid regular elimination. How to do that if you are not a regular meditator, or you don't know how to, or you think you cannot? Just to remember, it's mind over body. When our body is in charge, our mind is in stress. When our mind is in charge, our body can be at ease. We must be able to have full control over our body. And one of the easy ways that we can do that is to learn how to meditate. If you feel like you cannot sit in complete silence for half an hour without your mind going all over the place or freaking out, don't worry, start with 30 seconds. And you say to your body, Shev b'sheket, sit down and be quiet, body. Be still and know who is in charge. Whether you think of yourself as in charge or your higher power in charge, our body must be under authority. So also sitting correctly, standing correctly has a great impact on the health of the gut. Obviously our diet that we talked about, we want to limit the intake of all processed food and junk foods, frozen and canned foods if possible, frozen being the least negative influence on the body. We want to drink, someone who's eating a very clean diet needs a minimum of 2 liters. If you're eating cooked food and processed food in any way or under high stress or detoxing in any way, you must drink 3 to 4 liters of water, depending on your body size. Very small, 3, anything not small, 4. This is more important than I can even tell you, because when we're detoxing or we have a high stress factor in our lives, there's a heavy toxic intake into the body, and without enough hydration, the toxins just get stored in the body. Okay, and we want to make sure that that water is alkaline, that we're putting either fruit, vegetables, herbs into the water to make it alkaline, and to also get enough electrolytes so that our cells are not dehydrated. Electrolytes are the only thing that hydrate the cells, not plain water. Don't drink tap water. Filtered water, and then add to it. A few meals a day. Some people need 1, 2, 3. It doesn't really matter, but you never want to have your largest portion of food at night. Always very much towards the middle of the day. That is your main meal. And if you only can eat 1 meal a day, make it in the hottest part of the day. That's when your digestion is going to be the most active. So you're going to be able to digest your food and break down all the nutrients, absorb and flush the waste the easiest. If you're eating in the morning, something medium to light. If you're eating in the late afternoon, early evening, something very, very light, like a baby would eat, a bowl of soup, some applesauce, a banana. If you're having trouble sleeping and you don't have enough energy, try having a piece of fruit, easy digestible fruit, before you go to bed, but never a meal. And if at all possible, no food before bed. At least, really, it's you really want to do 6 hours before bed not eating, because that's how long it takes to digest the food maximum. 4 hours would really be minimum. Unless you're struggling with blood sugar or something like that, and you do need some energy, and you have something like a banana and you chew it really well until it's completely liquid in your mouth, that's only going to take maybe an hour to clear your system. So think about that. Eat with a relaxed mind. Don't watch TV. Don't have arguments. Keep conversations quiet and gentle. Relax while you eat. It helps the digestion. It helps your colon health. Don't talk on the phone, and chew the food all the way until it's liquid. Our stools are a blend of water, mucus, fiber, old cells, and inorganic salts that have to be flushed out of the body to keep it clean and hygienic. And so it's very important to keep ourselves healthy and disease-free, because if our stools are constipated or diarrhea due to infection, then harmful digestions work their way into the digestive tract. So gut health influences every part of the body, including our brain and our emotions and how we feel. So how can we detox in order to have a great healthy gut? There's so many ways. And one thing is to do a full body detox. And I can send this recipe to you if you want it, or unless you already took a screenshot of it. And the other way is how we eat. So it's very important to eat real foods. The less processed, the more nutrients you get. The more organic, the less toxins you receive. These are some, if anybody wants this list, I'm happy to send it to you. And as far as the proteins, this is actually, I want to redo this list because it's not comprehensive, and I do not suggest using meat in any way, any animal products, as your protein intake. If you haven't been able to give up animal products yet, these would be the most healthy. Of course, only free range and only wild fish. If you're not taking free range animals, you are eating meat that is not only toxic from hormones and chemicals put into the meat, into the animal, but also toxic emotionally. You are eating emotional toxic deposits in the muscles of the animals from their very unhappy and most often tortured lifestyle, which is something that people really don't take into account, that they're eating those emotions from the animal and taking that into their body, as well as parasites and toxins. So real fun stuff for meat eaters, which I used to be one. But the other thing that we can do, which is the most gentle and one of the easiest, don't have to think too much about it, way to detox your gut, and gentle enough for pregnant and nursing women as well. You would just leave out the GX Assist, the GI cleanse. You don't want to do a gut cleanse when you're pregnant and nursing. Either way, don't take my word for it. Please be under the instruction of your health professional. And I'm not saying doctor specifically, but a health professional, whatever that may be, as close to nature as possible. This set is really wonderful. It addresses your cellular level, it has a cellular complex that addresses the cellular health and regeneration, the health of that cell every time it regenerates, so it can be healthier and healthier and healthier, which actually makes you younger, younger, younger. It addresses the endocrine system, the gut, all cleansing properties in the body's natural ability to detoxify itself and clean itself from toxins and waste products, as well as giving you all of your vitamins and minerals and enzymes and omegas and antioxidants that you need for a well-balanced, healthy body. Now, these whole food supplements are hundreds of dollars if you buy them individually, hundreds. This set would be close to $1,000 if you were to buy all of the ingredients separately, okay? And the Lifelong Vitality Pack is something you're going to want to take with you throughout the rest of the year, throughout the rest of your life. Whole food supplements come from food. So when we think of supplements, we often think of these tablets, and a lot of those times those vitamins are secreted from food. It's separated out, just like protein powders. You separate out the protein from the food or from the source, the animal, whatever it is. So you don't have a whole nutrient. Whole nutrients is what the body needs. There's no way around it. And this is why animals, don't process their food, because you need, if it's good for you, you need all of it. And so thankfully, doTERRA has patented a way of not only getting all the nutrients that we need every day for us from whole food sources, using the whole entire part of the plant that is needed that we need to eat, but also the right combinations. For example, zinc with quercetin. If you take them separately, they're not as effective. And zinc can actually leave toxic deposits in the body if it doesn't have the right partner, quercetin. So thankfully, we don't have to, know all of that and educate ourselves with all of that, because it's all right here. But it is all verifiable if you want to do that. Lab reports, as well as any research you do, will show that there is the right combinations in there. We also have probiotics and enzymes that help to break down the food, and the pre and probiotics that bring about the pH balance in the tummy and the gut, which is very unusual. You will see probiotics out there with pre and probiotics mixed together. The only problem is basically it's very hard to even get 1% of that into the gut. The stomach breaks it all down, and it doesn't pass through. So it's a little bit of a misnomer. That's why DigestZen PB Assist, doTERRA is a patented dual capsule formula of pre and probiotics, with the second capsule of not digesting in the stomach and going into the gut instead and releasing there. Excellent resource. So I encourage everyone to help their body cleanse itself and keep itself healthy and in an ideal functioning way, so that we are happy as well as healthy. And this Lifelong Vitality Kit, the Cleanse and Restore Kit, includes a Lifelong Vitality, is a really fun and excellent way to do that. And if you have any questions, please contact us and make your order right away. You won't be sorry. Next week, we are talking about the lymph system, how we're going to start talking about where the toxins are stored in the body. And we're going to start with the lymph system because it's also one of the systems that help that transfer toxins around the body because it's a flowing system. So we're going to learn all about that and how we can keep it healthy and how to do little massages for ourselves to get the lymph system flowing again. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you learned a lot and had a fun time, and that you'll come back next week to learn with us more about how to support our amazing self-sustaining healing body. And I look forward to sharing more with you. If you have any questions, please send them in during the week and we'll answer them next week. Thank you so much for being here, and stay healthy.